Hello, my name's Greg Egan, and today I'm going to explore Glenbrook National Park and show you through some of the various sites that are actually here, and also some of the camping areas that you can actually come to. So enjoy this journey with me and enjoy this little exploration. And if you've got any questions below about Glenbrook National Park, then leave them in the comments and I'll see what I can do to answer them for you. Okay, thank you. Okay, this is the entrance area to Glenbrook National Park. And as you come to the outside, if you don't want to drive in, there is park fees that you have to pay if you want to drive all the way in and explore. And it is worth it, unless you have like a national park pass that allows you to travel through national parks freely. There is a fee for entering for the day. And I'll leave some links in the video below to actually show you what those are. Now, if all you want to do is walk around the outside, there is a car park you can park out here. And I'm just going to walk over here, because there seems to be some sort of dollar sign next to the car park. It used to be free here to park many years ago, but it looks like they put some sort of fee. There is some basic facilities here. As you can see, there's some toilets here at the entrance. And let's just look at here. Park entry fee here, $1. Enter number plate. Okay, so there's your park entry fees. It's $8 for a day pass, and the gates are open between 8:30 to 7. So obviously you can pay things remotely to go in for the day. And here you have like a tourist information, toilets, disabled toilets, as you're going in. We'll take a little bit of a walk. I don't know whether this information centre is open anymore, but we'll go down and have a look. Looks like it's closed off inside, but there's your toilets down the back. And there is toilets in the park, but only in the camping area. Oh no, there is in some other areas too, and we'll look at that. So obviously the staff only, but here you have some general sort of information. Glenbrook entry, where it shows you the maps. It explains some of the places to go. And if we go up here, you can see there's places like Jellybean Pool. There's a picnic camp area in Euroka Clearing. So that's got a fee, that camping area. And you can book that online. There's some lookouts to go to. Red Hen's Cave, that's some Aboriginal artwork you can go visit. And you can do mountain biking here, which people tend to do. There's also a lot of walks throughout this park, and they explain some of the walks and how long they take as you're going down them. Gorge track. And there's different grades of walking depending on how fit you are, of course. And here he sort of lists the grades of the type of walking, what it's suitable for. And so you got Nepean Lookout Stroll, Red Hen's Cave Walk, Jack Evans Track, Euroka Walking Track, Nepean River. They've got the park opening hours that you can actually come in. Of course, if you're camping here, that's different. There's a sort of information there and a link to one of the websites. And of course, a big map of the area and some of the various places you can go. Explains where we are on the map. More information here. Some views. And what the meanings on the map are, of course. And now we'll actually go into the park. Now I've just pulled over to take a quick walk down to a place called Blue Pool. So let's take a walk down and see where this takes us. And I should note that Glenbrook National Park is the first major stop as you're entering the Blue Mountains, coming from Sydney. It's got a lot of good sights and scenery just to see, and it's a good introduction around what you can actually see in the Blue Mountains. And of course, there's many more beautiful places to explore as you walk through the Blue Mountains. And I encourage you to come up here and explore the Blue Mountains west of Sydney, because it is a World Heritage Site and a national park, and there's some just beautiful, amazing sights just to see here, and beautiful nature. If you like hiking, camping, then the Blue Mountains is the place for you to come. As you can see, the weather's not too bad. It's nice and cool for walking. Let's go in. I'm not going to go through every section of Glenbrook National Park. I'm just going to show you some sort of snippets of it, so you can get a feel for what's actually here to determine whether this is a place you really do want to explore. As we're going down this walk, and as you can see, it's a bit of a steep walk. So if you're a person with mobility issues, this particular walk is probably not recommended, just because of the steepness, because you can see here how steep it is. And it can be a little bit slippery on these sorts of stones. So be careful with your footing and make sure you're wearing good shoes. At least there is some handrails that sort of help out a bit as you go. I know a bit about this area because I grew up here and was born in the Blue Mountains. So these are my old childhood walking tracks, I guess you could say. Come in here. But I just wanted to show people my own backyard so you know how beautiful this place is. As you can see, I'm walking down the beautiful nature around us. You can start to hear the sound of water as we're going in. As we're walking down to the creek. To be honest, it's actually been a while since I've been here myself. And I thought this is a good time to go exploring and show people actually what's here. I know as a kid I used to come down here swimming, but the problem with these areas when it comes to swimming is that after every big storm or weather event, you never know what the state of the water is. And one warning about swimming in freshwater lakes or rivers in Australia is that you just never know what's actually under the water. And so it's important to be careful of that when you're actually walking here and exploring. When you're swimming, I should say, that you just be very cautious on this. Because you can see the tracks aren't exactly clearly marked. But we'll get there and explore a little. Obviously there's footprints here, so I'm on the right track. You can tell it's been a while since I've been here. But if you just want to get away from the noise, get away from the hustle and bustle of the big city, as you can see, I'm pretty much surrounded by trees everywhere. So I'm just going to get down to this pool and actually have a look. And I'm filming in real time, so I want to show you how long it takes to walk down here from where I parked. And as you can see, after floods and storms, trees do fall down. They do fall in the water. And so it's important if you come down here with kids that you do supervise them at all times. And as you can see here, we're down at the sort of swimming area where people come swimming. Again, swim with caution in these places, but you can swim in them. Let's get around a bit. Okay, this is where people often sit and they go swimming from here. So as you can see, it's a big area. There has been a lot of rain over this period, so you can see the water's quite full here. But it is a beautiful place. And I'll take some photos to actually add addition to this video so you can see it. Right, let's just jump down here a bit. So yes, bring your food with you. It's probably not bad for a picnic. Like if you look at this place, look at it. It's just beautiful, quiet, mountainous. All you're really hearing is the sound of birds. There's a lot of rocks on to set yourself up. And looking up here. So I've walked down into the valley a little bit. But yeah, so this is pretty much the swimming area, the first swimming area. There is an area here where you'll have to actually cross over with your car. As you can see, it's water, so be careful during floods. That's another direction to Red Hand's Cave there. There's another entrance as well. I thought I'd just stop here for a sec because there's an intersection here. One to go to a really good lookout and another to actually go to a campsite. So as you can see behind me, the sign there. Over to the right there is the camping area. And as you come over this way, you're going to be going into the lookout area. So this is where we're going to go now. We're going to Mount Portal Tunnel View. Okay, let's go. Now I thought I'd bring you up to this lookout because even just coming up here is worth it. See, down there is the Nepean River, and straight ahead where my camera is pointing is Penrith, which is a suburb in Western Sydney. And as we move further to the right, we'll go into Sydney CBD as we're going into the inner city over that direction. And yes, normally there is a lookout here. A lot of people stand there where that icon is there and take photos because they like the scenery behind it. There is a walkway here normally that you can go in and take photos out on, but for some reason it seems to be under construction. So I'm not sure what they're actually doing here or repairing, but obviously they're doing something here. But as you can see, there's a little bit of information on what they actually do here. and there is some abseiling that's done here by the looks of it. But it is a beautiful lookout. You just get to, it's one of these places that the locals tend to know where to go, but not everyone in Western Sydney knows that they can come in the Glenbrook National Park and see this awesome view of sort of the western suburbs on the edge of the Blue Mountains. And of course there's a car park here. As you can see, this part is dirt, but I noticed that they've upgraded some of the road recently to actually tar and gravel, which is a really great thing, because now people that couldn't drive up here before with their normal cars can now drive up here. There is a little bit of a dirt road to get in here, but it's worthwhile. But the steepest part and the most difficult part to get up is actually gravel and tarred road now. So yes, you can bring normal cars in here. I just wanted to highlight that. All right, let's go to the next stop. Hello. Now we've just come down. I've just come down into the Glenbrook National Park camping ground, which is called Euroka Clearing. And now I'm just going to show you around what's actually here and what the camping grounds look like, so that you can make an executive choice around, is it okay to come camping here? And I'll tell you some basic information about this place. It does have toilets. It does not have anywhere to shower or anything like that. It does have rubbish bins. If you come here, you've got to bring your own firewood, and so that's important to note. And because they say not to use the Kindle and that around here, so bring your own firewood when you come here. And they do have structured sort of campfire areas where you can sort of light your fires. But I'd suggest bring all your own food, all your own water, your camping equipment, your tents. It's a good place to bring your kids to come camping. It's very easy to get to. You can drive right up here, park your car, and just walk straight into the camping ground. And so this is a great place to bring the kids just for a quick camping, so you don't have to walk too far with your camping equipment. So let's now have a bit of an explore of this place, and I'll show you around. And also there's a lot of walking tracks you can take directly from the camping ground, and also places you can ride your bikes around here, and that's important for some people, I know. Okay, let's start with the camping ground. Now this is the entrance to the actual camping ground. And so we're going to walk down now and actually explore it. So here we come to a sort of picnic area, which is really good. And all these places you can come camping in too, but there is some designated camping areas. And the links I'll give you in the description will tell you where the camping grounds are and the mapping area. But here, this is a picnic area. So it actually says camping is prohibited. But you can come here for little day trips to set yourself up, and over there is the toilets. You know what? They usually do have toilet paper in there, but I'd probably advise just bring some extra, just in case. And as you can see, there's a sign over there which says camping is prohibited. So this gives you an idea what the picnic area is like and how big it is, and how you can actually bring your family here. And there is some seating area, but not a lot. And but if you just want a day trip out of Sydney, you just want to get amongst nature, do some hiking, have a bit of a picnic, then this is not a bad place to stop. And if you've got a group of people coming for a party or something, come down here. It's very open space. So let's walk around and start exploring some of the other areas. I should point out that I was probably a little bit mistaken in the fact that there is some more sort of picnic areas as we're exploring around. And like the picnic areas where we were was up the top, up that way. And as you come around, there's a lot more picnic areas down here where you also have more toilet facilities. But here we're going to look at the first campsite. As you can see, this is what the campsites look like. They've got their a couple of sort of seating areas. You've got those little fire pits that you can actually cook in, or just have a fire. You got your toilets over there. And this first camping site, and you got your garbage bins here. This first camping site, each camping site has a name. So when you're looking at the maps, you look at, okay, what's the name of the campsite? So I'm gonna, as I go to each campsite, I'm gonna film it so that you actually know what each campsite actually looks like. And of course, there's some sort of warning sign here. It says, notice to visitors, many of the trees in this area are special because they are very old, but they may drop branches or fall over suddenly without warning. For your safety, do not camp or sit or stand beneath large trees or trees with overhanging branches. Kind of funny that, because if you look here, you've got every bloody place that's got a tree here. So there's just trees everywhere. So it's kind of a funny statement. But, so this is the first camping ground. So just another look. You can set your tents up in there. And over towards this way, there's a lot of bush tracks. There's a bush track, it takes you all the way down to the Nepean River, where you can actually, another picnic area, but you can actually walk right down to the river. And of course you have your parking area just here, where you can park your car. So let's go to the next place. Just wanted to stop here for a second to show you the other picnic area. This area is a lot larger. Of course you have your various fire pits for things, but I would say bring your own sort of cooking equipment if you're going to cook. And also, or just bring a packed lunch to come down here. And over there to the distance you see the parking lot. Looks like they've just refurnished the roads there, or fixed up the roads. And but you got your toilets there. And again, over here you can walk over the top there and actually go bushwalking. And here's your next camping ground that goes up to the hill there. And of course your COVID sort of warnings. And you can't drive up to this one, so you have to actually park over here. So again, the camping ground's up on the hill there. And you have to drive down to this place and actually park your cars where there's another camping ground. So as you can see, they allocate specific spots for camping. And this particular camping ground here is called Red Gum. So you've got another one just here. There's your toilets up on the hill, which are shared with the other camping area. And again, you've got those little sitting chairs, garbage bins. And please do take away your rubbish when you come down here too, or put them in the bin. Another thing I'll warn you about, I actually went camping here last year and set up my tent just over there. And I was actually eating, and a couple of times kookaburras, they try to steal your food off the actual table. And one time I was eating a piece of steak whilst I was actually cooking here. And the kookaburra flew down and actually, which is a bird, it flew down and actually took the steak from my mouth. But in the process of doing that, he actually cut my lip and I had blood going everywhere. So be careful of the kookaburras here, because they think they'll come down and try and take your food because they're used to people feeding them. And so they're not actually scared of people. And they've got very sharp beaks, I can tell you that, because it really hurt my lips when he cut it open, when he flew down. And there you see people having picnics over there in the distance. And let's continue our little explore around the campsite. Okay, this is the Apple Tree Flat campsite. And again, you have your standard sort of fire pits. You have a few places you can sit. And so you've got 3 particular places. So in a way, There's probably about 3 or 4 campsites that could be set up here. They usually do have a certain number of people that can camp in each particular area. Again, you have your toilet, your rubbish bins. As you can see, again, a very beautiful area around you where you're actually camping within. And another warning here, you do, well, maybe it's not a warning, you do sometimes see wombats here at night when you go camping. I've come across a few, and also sometimes kangaroos on this site. And during summer, there's always that chance that you're going to stumble across things like lizards and snakes. So just be careful when you're in these sorts of campsites too, and show some sort of common sense. But okay, let's check out the next campsite. This is just another area where you can actually sit and relax and have some downtime. Even have a picnic in there. There's the beginning of a walking track up here, which is the Bennett Ridge Fire Trail. Which it says you can do a return walk to the Nepean River for 1 hour walk. Or there's a Woodford Oaks Fire Trail, which it says 4.5 kilometres, I guess, that's what it's talking about. Again, and here's your last campsite, the one on the hill here, which leads you directly to the fire trails. And this one is the Bennett Ridge campsite. I didn't want to do too much filming here because there's actually people camping here. But as you can see, it's actually quite a beautiful area to actually go down. So let's continue to explore. Okay, so that's a quick look at the Glenbrook National Park camping grounds. I'm not going to do any of the big hikes today because there's just so many walks to do here, and it would take a bit of time to explore them all and put them on video today. But feel free to come down here and actually explore some of them, and maybe later I probably will put up posts on some of the walking tracks around here. But now I'm going to go to 2 more places. One of them's this beautiful lookout, which you'll see soon. And the other I'm going to walk down to what's called Red Hands Cave. So let's get going. Okay, I've just arrived at the beginning of the walking track for Red Hands Cave in Glenbrook National Park. So just so you know, it takes a little bit to drive in here, but when you're in here, there is actually access, as you can see, to some seating areas. And also there's some toilets here as well, just at this site. So that's just handy for you to note. Another thing I'd like to sort of tell you to be just a bit careful of is that on the roads here, as you can see, it's dirt road there. Most of the lanes here are sort of like a single lane road, but it's still 2-way. So it's important to take note that drive carefully, because there could be other cars coming in your direction. Further, you get a lot of hikers on the track, and you get a lot of people on their mountain bikes riding up and down. So you've got to be a bit cautious when you're driving on these roads here. But anyway, let's take a walk down to Red Hands Cave and have a look at it. All right, let's begin this walk to Red Hands Cave. I may not film the whole sort of walk, and I'm not sure how long of a walk it is into it, but I'll film some of it, so I may stop and start as I'm going and walking on this track. So to start off with, the track starts fairly easy and flat, but as it changes, I'll update you on what's the level and grade of this particular walk for people with various levels of fitness, I guess you could say. So let's have a little bit of a walk as we go down. Look, I mean. And there doesn't seem to be any people here, which is quite good. It's quite quiet and peaceful as I walk. It's starting to go downhill a bit. And yeah, what we're walking down to is a place called Red Hen's Cave. Now, Red Hen's Cave is basically a cave which they've put some perspex over the front of so you can't touch it, with some Aboriginal art that you can go down and see. It's up to you whether you feel like this walk is worthwhile, but still it's hiking. So it's just about fitness and relaxing and getting outdoors at the end of the day and doing a bit of exploring while you're at it. And if you are out here for a day trip or you're doing some camping, then yeah, go exploring, get out here and see where it takes you. As you can see, some of the flowers, the bottle brushes are out. And here we're starting to go a bit downhill now as we go into this walk. You can start to hear the water in the distance, the creek down the bottom here. This is like a virtual tour through the whole of the walking track down to Red Hen's Cave for you, so you get a feel for what sort of walk you're going on. And seeing it through my eyes, I did this walk last year, and just because one morning I got up and felt like exploring. So I'm going to turn it off for a minute, and then I'll turn it back on once the walk changes a little bit. Okay, we're just coming to a second section. So far the walk's been fairly even, and not really that steep going in. And you can see this is the sort of area I've walked back from. Most of it was all flat from where I cut off the video there for a second. But here, and on the grade of walks, I would say so far this is one of the easier walks. All right, I've just come down to the Red Hen's Cave area, and here we actually see some of the sort of history behind it, which is probably a little bit hard to see through the wire. You really have to be here to read it. Working culture, and I don't know whether you can see it or not, but there is various, here we go, as we come back, there's various levels of artwork on the walls there of traditional Aboriginal art. I don't know whether this helps to go in there and look, but yeah, as you can see, there's some of the artwork. So pretty much the walk's about coming down and seeing this here, and it does tell you a little bit about the history, and there's some little plaques here that give you a little bit more information on this sort of area. And yeah, it's still a nice calm area to actually sit. If you have been a bit tired from the walk, then yes, of course there's a seat there. But apart from that, that's pretty much Red Hen's Cave in its essence. As you can see, it's all graded off so people can't do damage to the actual cave itself and what's actually in there. Okay, let's head back to the next stop, and the last stop of the day, a lookout I want to show you guys. To get down to Red Hen's Cave from where I parked, It's only like maybe maximum 10-minute walk, depending on your pace of walking down here. So it's not that far, and it's a fairly easy grade walk. Okay, so currently I've parked my car and I'm just walking down to a place called Nepean Lookout in Glenbrook National Park. And it's a beautiful area, and you'll see it once I get there and show you the actual views that you get from this place. And as you can see, the walking track's an old road, so it's pretty easy to actually walk on. So it's not a hard walk. And but once we get there, I will show you around the actual views of this place at Nepean Lookout. Okay. Okay, so coming into the Glenbrook Nepean Lookout, you used to be able to drive in here, but these days you've got to walk all the way down. It's not much of a walk. Again, about a 5-10 minute walk to walk down here from the parking lot. And it's all flat, so really anyone can walk here. And so let's just have a look, and you'll get to see why I love this place. It's a great place just to stop and just relax. As you're about to see, the view here is just amazing, I think. It's a very peaceful place. You could just sit here, have a picnic, relax, chill out. See Nepean Lookout. Be careful here with the kids, as there's no railings. So this is the Nepean Lookout. You can basically take your boat from Penrith all the way up along here and do okay. And right below down here, there's a creek that you can walk down to. There's a walking track further up the road, and it takes you down to this beautiful sort of creek area. And that's another sort of nice hiking area. There's a lot of nice hiking areas around this area. There's houses on the other side up there. And but yeah, it's very nice. And if you keep going that way, you eventually hit Warragamba Dam. But yeah, if you just want to sit and relax in a beautiful location, this is pretty much somewhere I would recommend. And it's easy to drive here and walk here. I've just walked to one of the other areas on the cliff here to show you the view from here. As you can see, the Nepean River. If you're going to walk down here, it's a bit of a walk, and you've got to be very careful. And it's not really the safest place for young kids. But look at it, isn't this amazing? Just gradually looking over all this. So just to reinforce the fact, it's worth the drive out here in Glenbrook National Park. And bring a picnic lunch out here if you want, as long as you haven't got young kids in this particular area. And just sit here, chill out, relax, meditate, do whatever helps you relax here. And just enjoy the beauty around you. of everything that I'm seeing as I'm walking around here. So just enjoy it all. There's little rocks here to sit on and just really relax in the environment. So that's it, guys, for today, and hope you have a beautiful day.